on YouTube. Yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, yeah. Ooh. Yeah, yeah. Oh, boy. All right, we are live on YouTube. How's everyone doing today? The sun is right in my face. How are you all doing? Welcome to another episode of Walking with Purpose Live, episode number 788. This is Navigating the Modern World with Eli, episode number 788 of Walking with Purpose live from the San Francisco Bay Trail here in beautiful Redwood City, California, where I live. Climate best by government test. Don and I were in the Central Valley area yesterday, and waiting for some people to pass on by. Good afternoon to you, by repair guy. How you doing, Raleigh? Welcome to the show. We were in the Central Valley area yesterday, and it was like 95 degrees. It's 20 degrees cooler in Redwood City and on the peninsula here in the San Francisco Bay Area compared to more inland. That's what this microclimate of having the SF Bay and the Pacific Ocean, we're right in the middle of it. So we get the crosswinds, and it's just very, very pleasant. Great weather. All right? 95 degrees ain't bad. Hey, ODN, I'm glad you're here, man. I'm glad you're here. I'll clear some things up for you here in a little bit, brother. Welcome to the show. I'm sure you heard my response to your comment on a stream that is no longer publicly available on the Gig Drive and Thrive channel because he hit his channel. He hit his channel because people attacked him. People threatened him. I'm sure they threatened to dox him and call his day job and get him fired because he's doing an interview with Eli. Eli's such a bad, bad man. Eli's a bad, bad, bad man. Bad man, Eli. That's why we're going to talk about this topic here today. I'm not perfect, and neither are you. And when I say neither are you, I mean everyone else. I'm not perfect. No one is perfect. We'll get to that in a little bit, but welcome to the show, ODN. And by your repair guy, Raleigh, and everyone else that is here, please smash the thumbs up. Please share this out. I am the perfect golden boy. Well, you're entitled to your own opinion of yourself, ODN. And I respect that because the only opinion of yourself that really matters is your own, right? So if you feel you're the perfect little golden boy, then so be the fuck it, right? Oh, Deanna, I have mad respect for you. I've never lost respect for you. I've never disagreed with you. I've never disagreed with you. I completely agree with you on everything. I don't get I don't get what happens every now and then when you think I'm disagreeing with you. I'm not. It's just that, the term silence is golden, bro. Silence is golden, okay? Silence is golden because, you just focus on your own thing and you just don't let anything or anyone else derail what you're trying to create, right? Salute ODN 07. ODN says, respect Raleigh. Wonderful. So, folks, we're only going to do 3 miles today instead of 3.5 miles. I'm going to go to the point of the trail right before I turn right to go the last quarter mile to the observation deck. And then I'm just going to turn around because I got to go. I'm going to grab some takeout for Don and I tonight. And the restaurant closes at 9, so I've got to get boogie woogieing. And I mean, there we go. But yeah, I don't know, man. You just upset me the other day when you were trying to use me and GLM as an example I probably shouldn't have got upset, but it's whatever. I thought you guys' interview was good. I probably shouldn't have left the comment. I left the saying, just when you think you get to know Eli, he surprises you. You're entitled to your opinions, bro. You are. And I listen, I understand why you reacted. And look, don't let myself or anyone else tell you how to live your life, how to run your YouTube channel, what to respond to, what not to respond to. That's totally up to you. You know, you make choices for yourself, right? All I'm saying is, if people don't like someone, the best thing you can do is starve them out of content, ice them out, right? Not talk about them, not let anything they say faze you. Like right now, again, I'm sharing this because you're here and I respect you, and this is within the context of what I'm discussing here today as personal development, self-improvement, right? All I'm saying is that, hey, look, I understand there are people on this platform that do things that many of us don't like, right? And calling them out can be fun, right? Or it can be enlightening, right? It makes us feel like, okay, we're standing up to these people that we believe are harming the platform or harming other people or both, right? But many of us have done that, you know, regarding certain people out here for many years, and it's never changed. It has never changed, right? All it does is gives those people that we're talking about or calling out more ammo and more fuel to keep coming at us, right? Hey, Tia, how you doing? Good evening, Eli. Oh, Dan, all right, I agree with you, but if I have to ice them out, then you have to as well. No, ODN, I'm not telling you to ice them. ODN, listen. Don't let me tell you what to do, or don't let anyone else tell you what to do. All I'm doing is making a suggestion. I'm on the same side as you and GLM, okay? In this particular situation regarding a creator I wish to not talk about anymore. You know who it is, right? And I'm only talking about this because it's an example regarding you here and GLM, right? Okay? You both can choose how you want to handle the situation. If you want to make it your life's purpose to respond to everything this guy does on your YouTube channels, then so be it. But then that becomes your purpose. It makes your purpose and GLM's purpose a reaction channel to one creator and his crazy antics for the last 6 years out here on YouTube, right? If that's what you want to do, that's totally up to you, right? All I'm saying is that it's not going to change the situation. The only thing that will ever change the situation is people just walking away and just ignoring any type of poking and prodding that him and his people will do to try to suck us back into drama, right? You know what I'm saying? Hello, Tia, says ODN. Tia says, hey, ODN. Welcome to the show, everyone. ODN, I'm on your side, and GLM, I'm on your side. I've always been on your side. And maybe it's a little different because, ODN, you and GLM are not running your YouTube channels as a business like I am. You do it more as a hobby or something like that, right? So, you know, whatever you do on your channels is not going to affect you as it would affect me because I'm a business, right? But even then, I'm just saying, if you truly want to accomplish what you're trying to accomplish, the best way to do it is to just ignore and not let it phase you. And then the more and more people that stop responding and feeding into somebody like that, then he'll have no content. Let me ask you this, ODN. If everybody starved that guy out, if he poked and prodded everyone, right? That's what he does, him and his people. They poke and prod or through community postings and through videos, right? And when they can't get to me regarding getting to me, then they try to tag in my girlfriend, right? Or people that are a part of my audience, right? If every single one of us ignored it and never responded to him again, and no one ever responded to him, no matter how much he or other people that help him try to antagonize us, right? What would happen? He'd have zero content, right? And he'd have to focus on something else instead of making his content, people responding to him on YouTube, right? And him calling out people saying, oh, why do you keep talking about me? Why don't you leave me alone? Well, because you keep fucking antagonizing us, motherfucker. That's what you do. You keep fucking antagonizing people, right? And I'm not pissed off. I just learned to ignore it because it's worthless to me. It derails what I'm trying to create. That's all I'm saying. Oh, yeah, well, if you can prevent yourself from addressing him in videos on your YouTube channel, then I'll do the same. Oh, wonderful. Again, ODN, it's your choice. I want you to know that, hey, either way, I respect you. I'm just saying, sometimes I make a suggestion, right? Sometimes I make suggestions. I say, hey, look, if you truly want to accomplish what you're trying to accomplish with the guy, the best way to do it is to starve him out of content. Ignore him like he doesn't exist, right? Make him feel useless. Let him keep poking and prodding through him and his 6,000 sock accounts and a few other people that work with him. Let them keep poking the bear as much as they want. Who cares? It's comical, right? And then get to the point of where you block them and you don't see almost everything or pretty much everything they put out. You don't see it because I've hidden them from my channels and I've also Google blocked them. So, and I've done the same thing on Dawn's account. They try to tag Dawn in. I blocked them all on Dawn's account. I have full access to Dawn's account. She has full access to mine. We're a couple. Let them keep poking and prodding and wasting their energy spinning their wheels in the fucking mud. How's that? I get it. You're correct. You made your point, but you're still talking about him home. No, I'm not talking about him. I'm talking to you and responding to you because I care about you. I don't give a shit about him. Right? I'm only addressing it because you're here and I care about you. And so does Dawn and Tia and everyone else here. We care about you. There was a misunderstanding. And we don't want it to get to the point of where, you think that, we've wronged you. We don't wrong people here. Right? But when people wrong us and there's no way to correct the issue, then we just let them go. We ban them and we move on, right? But you're a good long-time friend and supporter. And, we just want to address the issue and make sure you're okay, man. That's all. Anyway, so let's get to it here, okay? Once again, welcome to episode number 788 of Walking with Purpose Live. If this is your first time here or the first time that you and I are meeting, please allow me to introduce myself. My name is Elias Melas, but you can call me Eli for short, and I am the president and founder of the Genuine Networking Association, or GNA for short. We are a networking organization that's been around since 2011. We used to run in-person networking events, then we moved things online about 6 years ago or so. And during that time, I was running these same channels and a former channel that's no longer around. I was running a coaching business under the Coach Eli brand, which recently I have retired the Coach Eli brand and completely rebranded everything into the GNA, because the Coach Eli brand was already under the umbrella of the GNA, but now we're taking the focus off of the coaching title because that's not what it was about, ever. It was never about that. The focus has always been to help people here and say, hey, look, I'm not any better than you, but you're not better than me. My purpose has always been to walk alongside people and help them overcome things that they may be struggling with, that I used to struggle with and overcame myself. And I do that by sharing my stories that you may be able to relate to, right? What we do here is we help people improve personally with personal or through personal improvement, also known as personal development. We are also, looking to help people not only on the personal end of things, them become a better person to find true love and happiness, but we also help people at a professional level. We help people that want to transition from working a W-2 day job or working a job where you're getting paid to work for somebody else to becoming a self-employed entrepreneur like I did over 15 years ago. The transition is not easy, but we can make it easier for you, and we can streamline the process for you because we, meaning myself, pretty much, have already been through all that. I've done all the work. I've made all the mistakes, and I've made a shit ton of mistakes that I can help you identify much quicker, and that way you'll get through all the hurdles and the humps much quicker than I did. That's the whole point of this. You should make a Coach Eli 2 channel just in case they try to steal that channel and have it pop up in the algorithm. Oh, they've already got those, bro. I don't care about that. Honestly, here's the thing. I don't care about the Coach Eli name or anything. I'm not worried about that. But I appreciate that, bro. Yeah, people want to create Coach Eli 2 parody channels. It's out of my control. I just don't care, dude. But thank you. Thank you for caring, because you mean something. People that mean something to me, people that are real, decent people, I appreciate that you care at that level, but quite frankly, I'm laser focused on the GNA, and there's nothing else that's going to get in the way of us moving this forward. I've already got people from the days where I was networking in person all over Northern California, because I simulcasted my in-studio stream a few days ago to Facebook as well. And I'm going to keep simulcasting in-studio streams to Facebook and probably other platforms as well. So there are going to be a lot of people that I'm going to be interviewing through the GNA platform. Those interviews are going to be pre-recorded. They're going to go on the main channel, which used to be called Coach Eli Elias Melas. It is now called GNA, Genuine Personal Development. And this channel here, the live streaming channel that used to be Coach Eli 2, Authentic Live Streams, is now GNA 2 live. Sorry, Genuine Live Personal Development. GNA 2 Genuine Live Personal Development. But thank you for that, bro. I appreciate it. I appreciate that, man. You're a good man, ODN. I've always thought you're a good man, and that's how I feel. I'm entitled to my opinions. We've known each other for years. We've experienced similar things out here with the same people, and hey, we relate to that, bro. So I get it, man. But thank you. Thank you, son. Thank you for everything, ODN. Look, Again, thank you, ODN, Tia, and many other people that, have not only been supportive here by showing up, but have also monetarily donated to the channel. I appreciate that. Much love. All right. So today I'm going to be discussing I'm not perfect and neither are you. One more time, the topic is I'm not perfect and neither are you. I'm going to start off by saying I've made a lot of mistakes in my life. And a lot of those mistakes, most of those mistakes, if not all of those mistakes, I'm not proud of. I'm not too proud of. I'm not a man, I'm a golden boy. Oh, Tia's laughing, ODN crying out of laughter. ODN, if you do end up sticking around, then we will moderate you at some point soon. How I would have moderated you by now, but we keep having these back and forth moments. And I think you now understand where I'm coming from. I think you know where I'm at. So, and I know you don't care about being a mod and this and that and blah, blah, blah. You don't have to say that. But we'll do what we feel is right here because we take care of the people that we've gotten to know, like, and trust, ODN. Hold on a second. Look at that. Highway 101 north is moving smoothly, so is southbound 101. But it is after 7 o'clock, so. I gotta tell you folks, what an amazing, beautiful day. Like right now it's probably dipped down to about 72 degrees. When Don and I were in the Central Valley yesterday, we had some stuff to take care of out there. We actually stopped by at a Nation's Burger. I think it's a California chain. It's been around for a while in the area. And we got out. I was like, oh shit, man. This feels like the weather we had like weeks ago, like last month, right when we had 95, 100 degree weather here in the Bay Area, even where I'm at. So there's somebody walking on the left side of the trail, and I'm walking on the right. I'm gonna just move off the side and let them pass. People that walk on the left side of the trail are either from another country or just doing something different. I don't know. I think he moved over, but I'm gonna wait anyway. Please smash a thumbs up and please share this out. I would greatly appreciate it. Give me a second here. I don't need a mod wrench. I just like watching your live streams. Well, thank you. Well, you may end up getting one anyway, dude, because I've known you for a while, ODN. I know you're a real person, and we like to pay respect where respect is due, okay? But I get you. I get your humility, you being humble. I appreciate that, bro. It's all good. So yeah, I've made a lot of mistakes in my life. A lot of mistakes. All right? And like I said, most, or if not all of the mistakes I made, I'm not too proud of. And in my younger days, first of all, I had difficulty admitting my mistakes because I felt that when I would make mistakes, if I tried to cover them up and get away with them, I wouldn't look as bad in front of my friends and my family. But what I learned as I got older, as I got into my mid to late 20s, I learned that there's really no way to cover up your mistakes because they're so apparent. Your friends and your family members are going to notice your mistakes as they're happening. And if you try to cover up those mistakes, instead of addressing them and apologizing for them, it's going to make you look worse than just coming out and saying, hey, look, I fucked up. I screwed up. I made a mistake. I'm sorry. Right? Is it that hard to say I'm sorry, right? I've learned, as I've gotten older, one of the easiest things to do in life is apologize. It's literally one of the easiest things we can all do, but it becomes the most difficult thing for many of us to do at the same time. And the reason why such an easy thing is so difficult to do is because we're afraid of what people are going to think about us if we admit our faults, apologize, learn from our mistakes and our faults, and then help others learn how to be better people through the mistakes that we overcame, right? Let me know in the chat if that makes sense to you, right? Or if you're here on the replay, in the comments section. I could smell the salt water all the way from the bay on the other side. All right. I have enough sunlight to do the whole trail, but I'm more so worried about making it to the restaurant on time to get the food for Dawn and I. And I want to have a nice dinner and quiet time with my lady tonight. By the way, Dawn is doing well. She's doing very well. ODN, yeah, that makes sense. I'm not going to be typing too much, though, because I'm sitting inside of a jacuzzi and my fingers are wet. Oh, really? You're in a jacuzzi? You have a jacuzzi at your place, or are you staying at some hotel, or are you on the road, bro? Wow, wonderful. Good for you. That's wonderful. We are at 27 minutes. Wow, I'm really powering through this trail today. Wow, 27 minutes? And I'm almost at the 1.5 mile point. At age 50, I'm still trucking like I did at age 20. Fantastic, man. I don't feel a day over 20, to be honest with you. And sometimes my brain functions at the level of a 20-year-old. But hey, you know what? Everyone makes mistakes, and I own it, right? I'm here today to say I'm not perfect, and neither are you. No one is perfect. Everybody makes mistakes, even the best of us. Even the best of us, I mean, make mistakes, right? All the time, right? So I used to try to cover up my mistakes. And by the time I hit my mid to late 20s, I realized it's the dumbest thing I can do. No one's going to respect anyone that thinks they're perfect and tries to cover up mistakes. I never said or directly thought I was perfect, but looking back, the way I was behaving, I was coming off like I was the perfect person. I was coming off like I was trying to be the perfect person, even though that wasn't my intention. By me trying to cover up my mistakes, not admit my faults, right? That's how it's coming off, right? And when you come off that way, who wants to be around you? No one. Now, my friends were still hanging out with me, but they kept telling me, dude, you're full of shit. Dude, you're a liar. Dude, just tell us the truth, dude. We're your friends. We love you, right? They were trying to get through to me. And basically tell me the same thing. They were basically coaching me. In other words, they were saying, dude, be honest with us. We're not going to think any less of you, right? So, you know, that's where the change started to happen. That's where the change started to happen for me, which is what I'm trying to say. Sorry. It was my late 20s, early 30s. I really started to dig deep. And I started to more so build up my self-confidence. And I said, you know what? I'm not perfect. No one's perfect. And if I make a mistake, just apologize. Admit your mistake. Apologize. Learn from it. and move on. And then help other people that may be struggling with a similar issue that they're making mistakes on. Share your stories with them. Right? And in my 30s, that's when I started to realize that I was born to help people. I was born to help people because I made a lot of mistakes, and there was no one around doing what I was doing back then. There was no YouTube or anything to help us, become better people, to get the personal development, self-improvement that's available today, right? Now, personal development and self-improvement was available back then, but it cost a lot more money. You had to, you had to order videos, VHS tapes, DVDs, right? Before the internet became prominent in the early to mid 2000s, like, things didn't really start to change till about 2005 or so, when YouTube first came out. And even initially, you couldn't do a whole lot on YouTube, and we were still building the infrastructure of today. So by the time, I'd say 2007, 2008, 2009 came around, everyone could shoot video in 720p or 1080p, and live streaming was available. And we had a lot more access to self-help and personal development content. But in my early 30s, or throughout my 30s, beginning in my early 30s, I realized I really was made to help people. And I couldn't figure out how I was going to do it. I was always helping my friends with their computers and their dating questions. I always helped uplift my friends. Like, throughout my 30s, I was doing that. And even in my 20s, I was doing that as well. Even though I couldn't admit my mistakes, I still somehow was charming enough to get dates and, be with women. But, those relationships ended up not working out, obviously, because of how I was, right? And then in my early 40s is when, I started to really see the potential of YouTube. I started the Genuine Networking Association, or GNA for short, which is what this is here now, in 2011. And I was doing a lot of public speaking at networking events to promote my business and to also help other people connect with other entrepreneurs, to create a referral base so we all can refer business to each other by ways of getting to know, like, and trust each other. Building a network of trusted associates, right? But along the way of getting to the point of where I'm at today, I kept making a lot of mistakes. And the moral of the story is, in order to be successful, you have to make mistakes. There's no way. I'm going to turn around here because I'm limited on time. Let's see. 33 minutes for a mile and a half. That's not too bad while running a show and holding a selfie stick and being 50 years old. It's not too bad. Not bad at all. I made a lot of mistakes along the way, and you, like I said, you learn from those mistakes. You can't learn any other way besides making mistakes. So my thoughts to you folks out there that are trying to build a business, especially online. There are haters in this world, online and offline. That people are going to criticize you both offline and online. It's more apparent online and easier online because people can create multiple accounts. People can conglomerate in groups like Discord. And, when you build a group of hateful people, you can send that hateful group of people to attack anyone on the internet you want. And when you're being massively gang attacked which has happened to me many times, right? If you're not prepared for it or don't know what it is, it could really derail you and in many cases make you feel like you want to quit. And a lot of people have quit due to this, but I never quit. Instead, I learned from all the mistakes I made of how to deal with these people. Because first of all, I had to learn how to deal with them because I didn't even know what was going on when I first started creating out here full-time on YouTube about 6.5 years ago, right? I had to learn. What was going on and how to handle these massive hate attacks, right? But I kept moving forward. And along the way, I kept making mistakes. I said some things at times that I regret. I used the N word. I think one time I used the R word. The derogatory word for mentally challenged is the R word. The N word, the derogatory word for an African American person. I even used the derogatory F word, which is derogatory for, a gay person. Okay? I made those mistakes. And I regret those mistakes. And I wish I could take that back. But I can't. What's done is done. When you put something out on the internet, what's done is done. You can't take it back. What you can do is apologize. You can say, I'm sorry, right? And the people that truly believe in you and care in you, that truly believe in you and care for you, and know you made a mistake, and they're reasonable people, are going to forgive you and move on. The haters are going to play off of that for as long as they can. And they're going to play off of that for as long as you allow them to play off of that. This is where you got to come in and just ignore. Radio silence, right? Now, again, here we teach personal development / personal improvement, right? So it's not necessarily that we're trying to feed into anyone, but we got to use some examples to share the stories, or else you're not going to know what the fuck I'm talking about, right? Oh, you know what? I thought I had changed the channel links. Nightbot's still sharing my old channel links, which those old channel links will still work. The youtube.com/C/Life Coach Eli will always work because they no longer create custom URLs besides the mention URL. So Nightbot, I'm sorry if you're seeing the chat. Nightbot sharing the old channel links, which still actually work, but I need to update Nightbot. I thought I did, but I didn't. So my apologies for that. I'm just noticing that on the screen. I updated the Cash App and PayPal links. Let me see here. Tia says, never had a problem apologizing. I didn't do it for myself. It was always because I may have hurt the other person. That's a good point, Tia. You're a very selfless person, meaning you're not selfish. Selfless. The opposite of selfish. You're very selfless and you're very giving and you care about other people, right? But, and I know you know this, I'm just going to use this for example purposes, but in order to be able to apologize for doing something wrong to anyone, right? Before they can forgive you, you have to forgive yourself, right? So you make a mistake. Let's say you make a mistake with a close friend. You do something wrong. You got to come to the point of and forgive yourself and say to yourself, I'm not too proud of this. I feel really bad. I feel really guilty. I'm going to apologize to Sally or Jenny or Jack or Jill or whoever it was, right? That I did this to. But at the same time, before I do that, I'm going to forgive myself for my actions because I'm human and I make mistakes. I'm going to forgive myself first, and then I'm going to apologize to the other person and ask them for forgiveness, right? And I hope that makes sense because, one thing that has been a struggle for me to understand, or was a struggle for me to understand, up until my early 40s, is self-love and forgiving yourself first before you can apologize for any mistakes and ask others to forgive you for the mistakes you made on them, right? Or towards them, right? And this all goes back to, having self-love, self-appreciation, self-respect, right? And having self-love, self-appreciation, and self-respect, etc., self-confidence, that doesn't make you selfish. It makes you a good, healthy individual, a good, healthy human being, right? That's what it does. It makes you a good, healthy human being. I made lots of mistakes in my past relationships. And even in my current relationship with my girlfriend, Dawn. We've been together almost 3 years. I've learned from the mistakes I made in past relationships. ODN with the $5 super chat. Keep being a kind person. Wow, ODN, thank you so much. I'm going to like that. And I'm also going to give you a heart. Thank you so much, ODN. I'm going to pull up this side, let this person pass, and read what Tia's saying while I show you Highway 101. Tia says, I've always been hard on myself. I really have a hard time forgiving myself. I feel better. Apologize. Hey.
There's a bird of prey right on that post over there.
Oh.
Huge.
Wow.
Yeah, seriously. It's right in front of where she's standing. I think it's a golden eagle or a falcon. It's beautiful.
Oh, wow. I'll go check it out. Thanks a lot, man.
Yeah, it looks right on film.
Right on. Thank you. Appreciate it. That's a big bird that lady's looking at over there. I'll go check it out in a second. I feel better apologizing, but the guilt hangs on, says Tia. I've always been hard on myself. I really have a hard time forgiving myself. I feel better apologizing, but the guilt hangs on. Okay, thanks so much, ODN. Much love, Tia, says ODN. Anyway, I've seen the birds before. I think those people are new. I've shown the birds. There's always a bird on that post over there. Nothing new to me. I just didn't want to steal the guy's thunder or parade. I've lived here all my life, and there's always plenty of birds on the posts. Give me a second here. See, I'll show you that right there. Actually, I've never seen one like this. He's right like a golden eagle or something. Look at that. Wow. That is a beaut. Oh my God. I've seen blackbirds, but that dude is right. Maybe he has lived out here. Maybe. I've seen the blackbirds on there, but nothing like that. Wow. That was pretty majestic. If I had more time, which I don't today, I would go up close, but not too close, because those things can actually attack you. They can beak you to death weak. They can peck at your ass hard. Thank you again, ODM, for the $5 super chat. Much appreciated. And that says a lot about how understanding you are. Like honestly, man, I'm just an honest person, man. I'm going to always be honest with people. I'm not here to attack anyone. I'm just here to say, hey, look, maybe there's a better way to handle certain situations, right? This is just my opinion. It might work for you, it might not, right? It might work for you, it might not. But thank you again, dude. I appreciate it. I really do. Hope you're having a great time in that jacuzzi. Dawn and I took a bath together the other night. In our we have a jacuzzi tub, and we fill it with Epsom salt, and then we use Vicks Vapo Bath crystals and a little bit of clay and ginger detoxifying. What do you call it? It's like bubble soap, like bubble bath soap, and it's a perfect combination. It's just really, really good on the skin. It helps with sciatica. It helps loosen up the muscles, and there's a lot of magnesium in Epsom salt, which is very, very good for you. If you're not getting your Epsom salt baths, at least get some magnesium tablets, like magnesium sulfate. So I can't remember. It's called magnesium sulfate or something like that. No, magnesium glycinate or something like that. Glycinate or glycinerate or something like that. I believe it's made by Nature Made. Dawn uses them. I take more baths than she does. Sometimes she'll, take a bath with me. She'll more so shower. I like to bathe regularly. I shower too, don't get me wrong. I mean, Jesus Christ. But Dawn prefers showers. I prefer baths, but I take showers too, don't get me wrong. I like both. I like being clean. But anyway, yeah, I made lots of mistakes in relationships. I unintentionally, took some relationships for granted. There are times where both men and women do this, and I'm guilty of it too. You get with someone too soon after a previous breakup because you want to get rid of that pain. When you go through a breakup, it hurts emotionally. So you put yourself back out there and try to find someone similar to the person you were with to get rid of that shitty emotional feeling, right? That emotionally depressing feeling, which I fucking hate that feeling. Who doesn't, right? Right? Who doesn't hate that feeling, right? And then you get with someone and you're with them because maybe they're not your typical type physically or whatever, but they have the characteristics and the love and nurturing love that you thought your ex had, right? So you're not really that invested. Next thing you know, you end up really starting to like that person, and before you know it, you really care about them, and right when you start caring about them is when they dump you, right? And I've learned from those mistakes. We've all made those mistakes. I've learned from those mistakes, right? And I'm sure many of you have made those mistakes too. And there's a lot more I can help people work through now because of those mistakes I've made, right? Like if you are in a relationship, and let's say initially you got in that relationship because you went through a breakup and you try to replace the person that broke up with you with someone new as quickly as possible. And you got with someone that was close to what that other person was, but maybe they're not typically your physical type, at least initially, right? Next thing you know, you're still with them months later and you're wondering what to do. I can help you with that. I can share my thoughts with you on that. And what I'll tell you is this. What I have realized as I've gotten older, I was very picky. When I was in my teens and my 20s, like throughout my teens and 20s, I wanted the perfect, fit, cute, thin, super thin woman. And as I got into my 30s, I started to realize that women come in all shapes and sizes, so do people. Now, you should be as fit as possible, but there are different levels of fitness. Different men and women carry their weight differently, and it doesn't necessarily mean they're out of shape or they look bad, right? Depends how they carry themselves, right? And I started to find women that I thought were fat and overweight by having an extra 20 or 30 pounds on them. I started to find them more attractive. And I also noticed they had a better personality than the super skinny women. I started to notice they had a better personality than the skinny women that supposedly are in better shape, but actually not. Give me a second here. I'm going to stop over here. Look at the sun over there. Isn't that great? I wanted that dude to start walking ahead because he's walking at a pace where I'd be walking right alongside him, so don't want to do that. We are at 51 minutes. Tia says, I will never get into another relationship again. No one could be close to the man my husband was. I am learning to be content on my own. You know, Tia, I'm really glad you brought that up. Man, I don't know if you've heard me say this before, but I think there was a reason why, you know, you and I met and you connected with Don and I. Thought I heard something. Okay. Because my mother has not been with anyone since my father passed away and never will get with anyone again. So, another thing that you and I relate to, well, it's part of my family, and it's something that relates to me, and I'll relate to you because, you know, one of my family members, my closest family member, my mom, the woman that gave me birth, when my dad passed away over 14 years ago, my mother still devotes her life to him. She will not get with anyone, doesn't even feel like getting with anyone. Now, the next question may be, would it be wrong to get with someone else? In my opinion, no, it would not be wrong to get with someone else. And I honestly think that if my dad could send a message to my mom from heaven, and if your husband could send a message to you from heaven, they would both say, hey, if you can find someone that's a good person, you know, it'd be better for you to not be alone in that aspect. But at the same time, you have to make that choice as an individual. And there are people out there, Tia, like you and my mother, that are very devoted and very spiritual, very religious, and believe in their vows even after, you know, your partner passes away and you're still around. You know, and you're widowed. That's a better way to put it. You're widowed, you know? I respect that. I respect that because, you know, if I was in your situation, I don't know if I'd be able to do that. Because I love the company of a woman. I love the company of a good woman. And companionship is important to me, you know? But I think at this point in my life, you know, You know, if Don and I got married and something happened to her, I don't know. I probably wouldn't want to be with anyone else. I don't know. It's up to you. It's up to each individual how they want to handle that. There really is no right or wrong answer to that. It's what you feel is right for yourself, right? But mad respect to you because besides my mother, you're the only other woman I've come across that believes in their marriage vows that strongly. And there's a shit ton of respect that I have for that. I do. A ton of respect. I mean, I'll come out and say you're a much better person than me at that. Because, like I said, I don't know if I could do that. But, like I said, at the same time, being with Dawn and how much she means to me, if we got married and I became widowed, I probably would feel guilty being with someone else because I've never felt the love for anyone that I feel for Dawn. And that's what really matters. Do you truly love your partner? Or was it just something that passed the time, right? We are at 56 minutes. Oh, it's beautiful. Look at that. That plane's going to go right into the sun. Isn't that phenomenal? And off to the airport. Isn't that a beautiful sight? I can't complain. I cannot complain one bit. And I won't complain one bit at all. Folks, please start getting your final questions, comments, or concerns in the chat. We're going to be going off the air in about 10 minutes or so. Right when I get back to the car, it's going to be a hard stop because I got to go run a few errands and I got to get food for Don and I. We haven't had a nice takeout meal in a while. We've been cooking and stuff, and tonight we're just taking the night off from cooking because we've also been working around the house and organizing things and cleaning things, and it's really getting better. And once we organize it and all that, maybe we'll take you folks on the tour of how we live. I think it'd be interesting. But I learned, let me wait for these people to pass on by. Let's see. I've learned to not take people for granted. And I'm not going to lie to you folks. I should have learned it at a lot younger of an age. And I'm a Gen Xer. I'm not a millennial or Gen Zer, right? I'm a Gen Xer. I was raised old school. I should have learned not to take people for granted at a much younger age. But I'll tell you, I didn't learn it until age 44. At age 44, that was when my ex broke up with me because I had taken her for granted. And right when I started to actually truly have feelings for her is when she flipped the script on me. That's how it goes. Totally my fault. I took her for granted. All right? But at the same time, I also believe in whatever's meant to be is meant to be. And if it's not meant to be, if something is not meant to be, it just won't happen. And I also believe in everything happens for a purpose. The mistakes you make set you up for success with the right people in your life. I believe also that it wasn't meant for me to be fully successful over the last 6 years on YouTube. I have had some success, but not full success. And it was meant for me to rebrand to the GNA. It was also not meant for my past relationships to work to set me up to be with the right woman, which is done. Every mistake you make leads you towards the path of success. By your repair guy, I believe the same, Eli. Remind me what you're talking about more so specifically, Raleigh, because I've talked about a lot. You believe the same about what? And then I can go into a little further, more detail on it for you. Lots of people are popping on the trail tonight. My stomach's been acting up today. I was born with chronic constipation. Those of you that have been following me for a while know I've had chronic constipation. And yeah, I was able to be professional about it today. I was able to use the bathroom today and clear my stomach, but now I'm feeling like there's more left to to come out. Let's put it that way. I don't know. I'm gonna try to be a little more professional now with the GNA, but I can't change who I am. So, you know, it is what it is, right? It is what it is. Got about another maybe 5 to 7 minutes before we go off the air. Look, folks, I'm not a perfect person. I've never been a perfect person, and I never even tried to claim that in my younger days, even though deep within, I was probably thinking I was the perfect person back then, right? And when I would make mistakes, I figured it would ruin my perfect appearance, right? Which was never true, right? I can look back now and say, man, I fucked up big time. I screwed up big time. I'm a perfect little golden boy, says ODN. Well, if that helps you get through your days and motivates and inspires you to be a better person, ODN, then so be it, man. But you know what? I'm really glad that we were able to clear up, you know, that little minor situation. And I appreciate your $5 super chat once again, man. Much love. Much love and respect, dude. Respect, like you say. I'm going to pull up to the side and let this person pass. There's the Courtyard by Marriott. You can see it from afar over there. It's a nice freaking hotel. Like I mentioned before, when I was doing DoorDash and Uber Eats about 1.5 years ago for just under 4 months, I delivered to that hotel a couple times. It's a beautiful, beautiful hotel. We are at 63 minutes, an hour and 3 minutes, almost an hour and 4 minutes. Look at that. I'm really glad I was able to come out on this trail today. I love this trail. I prefer to walk the whole thing, 3.5 miles, but I did 3 miles, good enough, short on time. But it gives me a feeling of getting away from it all just for a few hours. And it's not that I want to get away from my family, including Dawn. It's just that sometimes a man in my situation, it could be a woman if you're a woman, but in my situation, I'm a man. So it's just nice for this man to be able to go across town and hit a trail like this and just clear my mind, kick in those endorphins and have a great conversation and share my thoughts and feelings with you good folks out there, right? and we can all support each other. And we can all have unity and peace instead of hate and division like other people on this platform, right? I'm all for unity. By the way, Kamala Harris picked her VP running mate today. I'm not going to talk about it here today. I might do a stream to update folks on the political spectrum over the next few days from the studio. There's been a lot going on, but I've had so much more to deal with, and I've barely had time to even do my walks. But things are starting to taper off again, so I'm going to share some thoughts about Harris, her VP running mate, Trump, and what's going on his end. And it looks like Harris is really flipping the script. Like, I've never seen anything like this ever. But I don't want to get into that here today. I don't want to upset anybody, and that's for another show. I'm going to keep it positive here. But yeah, lots more to talk about. More that's coming soon. You know, part of the personal development that we're going to be teaching here is going to involve, you know, politics and stuff, because whether we like it or not, politics come into play regarding everything. And that's why I don't like politics, because there's a lot of favoritism given to certain people that are less qualified for certain jobs or positions, and they get priority because they know the hiring manager, right? Or the owner or the boss, right? And you may be more qualified and a better worker, right? And you get passed up due to politics. That's the shit I just can't stand. But politics are inevitable, and we will be talking about them, and there's a lot to talk about. It's getting very interesting. But yeah, folks, look, you know, I've never really claimed to be the perfect person. I may have thought I was the perfect person when I was younger. I didn't even realize what I was doing, and when I figured it out, I was like, fuck, man, what a shame. Let me come out here. All right, lots of people coming on the trail. All right. Folks, please get your final questions, comments, or concerns in the chat. We're going to be going off the air in just a few minutes. We're heading back to the parking lot. And then we've got to Boogie. No one's perfect, including me. I've made lots of mistakes. I'm not a saint. What I am is someone that's very experienced at making mistakes. So I can identify other people making similar mistakes I've made while you're making those mistakes in progress, and I can help you identify and understand those mistakes and correct them a lot sooner than I did, so that way you're not wasting time and energy on things that could be holding you back from whatever you're trying to accomplish personally and professionally. And that's my specialty here at the GNA. That's my specialty. I was walking around because I didn't know where those two people were going to be coming, but all right, cool. The best advice I can give you folks, when you make mistakes, own them. Be honest about them, right? Now, If you're out here on YouTube and you're getting trolled and harassed and people are accusing you of things that you haven't done and they're like calling you a liar or they're saying that you never apologize, you don't need to respond to that. You just ignore that because you can apologize to people like that all you want, and their intentions are never to accept your apology. Their intentions are to just keep a back and forth going, right? So, in essence, you even responding by doing the right thing is pouring more fuel on the fire. Just ignore, ignore, ignore. What I'm talking about is dealing with people that actually mean something to you and you mean something to them. Because if you're trying to apologize to people that, you know, you don't mean anything to, like I don't mean anything to some people out here on YouTube. Me apologizing to those types of people is not going to change their opinion of me, and I don't care if they never change their opinion of me. What I'm saying is focus on the people that you mean something to and also mean something to you in return. With that being said, we're at 71 minutes, an hour, 11 minutes. We got to get going. Have a good one. Take care. And as always, be good to each other, folks, and be good to each other. Take care. Thank you, ODM, for the $5 super chat. Thank you again, Tia, for being here, and Raleigh, by Repair Guy, and anyone else. I enjoyed this stream. Thank you, everyone. Have a good evening, says Tia, and later, says ODM. Good night, everyone.